snort. You mean this?
There you go.
Boy.
Thank you. We have been waiting for information about this Steam machine since January when they first announced it, and it has finally, today, out of nowhere, the information hit the internet, and basically, Valve explained how this is all going to work, okay? So first off, Valve said right from the get-go, there's 4 different bundles for the Steam machine. What? Why are there 4 different bundles for the Steam machine? Sounds stupid already, doesn't it? I think it does. I think you need to be simple. Maybe 1 to 2 options, not 4. But they have 4 different bundles available for the Steam machine. Okay? What are the bundles? 512 gigabyte storage, which is tiny, to be honest. 512 gigabyte storage with the Steam controller bundled with it, which is hilarious because the Steam controller is back-ordered until April of next year. So why do they have extras to put with the console? Isn't that stupid? Yes. There's enough consumer demand that people want the Steam controller by itself. Why did they save all these Steam controllers to sell as bundles with the console? Especially because, to be honest, most people probably won't use the Steam controller with Steam Machine. They're going to use keyboard and mouse. Whatever. Then they have a 2 terabyte version. That's much better for storage, to be honest. I think that's a lot more fair. And then there's a 2 terabyte also paired with the Steam controller. A lot of controllers apparently were hoarded to sell as bundles with the Steam machine. So you might say, all right, so how do you get a Steam machine? First off, like what's the process? So Valve has outright come out and said, we admit we completely messed up with the Steam controller. We didn't anticipate the insane demand that there's been. We didn't anticipate the number of scalpers that were going to try to resell this thing. And so what we're going to do is something different. Rather than just going live and having everyone try to compete to get it and then have bots buy them all up, instead, we're going to do a randomized process. What you need to do is log into Steam right now, and you need to be on an account that has made a purchase before April 26th or something like that of this year. So as long as your account is old enough that it bought something back in like early April or before, you're eligible to buy the Steam machine. If you just made a brand new account, you can't buy the Steam machine. So all the bots aren't going to be eligible. That actually is kind of smart, don't you think? I think that was an interesting thing that they've done to do it that way. So how does it work? I'll show you right now. Are you ready? So what you got to do is you go into your Steam account and you search for Steam Machine, and this comes up. This is the Steam Machine page. And if you want to pre-order it, you can't. This isn't a pre-order. This is just to be in a lottery to be eligible to possibly pre-order. I'm not kidding. You're not going to get it if you do this. This is just a gambling lottery. So what you have to do is go down here, and you have to click on these boxes and click that I've read and accept the terms and conditions and join the list. So as you can see, what it says is, join the list anytime before June 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. On that date, the list will be closed and randomized, and you'll receive an email with your results shortly after. So basically what you do is you click on any version that you're interested in. You say, I'm on the list. And then on June 25th, so in 3 days, that's going to be Thursday morning, they're going to randomize it, and they're going to send out emails if you were lucky and got randomly selected to buy a Steam machine. Now, as you can see, I already signed up for all 4. I don't want 4 Steam machines. I maybe want 1 for the sake of experimenting with it, for the streams, and for content. So this is the way to be eligible. You're not committed to buying the Steam machine if you sign up for all 4. Chances are, literally everyone is doing this. If you want a Steam machine, why wouldn't you click all 4? So you see how stupid it is that they have 4 bundles? It's incredibly dumb because their whole process, again, is flawed. Everyone's going to click all 4. There's no commitment when you click it. You're not committing to pre-order. You're just saying, hey, put me in the lottery. Your games on the big screen, powerful PC gaming made easy in a small and tiny package. So that's how it looks. It's got a moving LED on the front. I'm assuming that's customizable, and you could probably make it do different kinds of animations and things like that. The idea is that the Steam machine is meant to be a PC that you hook up to your TV, meaning it's a console, but it's not, because it is really a PC that's customizable and has things you can change about it, but it's plugged into your TV like a console, okay? So here's what it's got. Semi-custom AMD Zen 4 6C12T. A semi-custom AMD RDNA 3 28 CUS. a 16 gigabyte DDR5, and 8 gigabyte GDDR6 VRAM. 512 gigabyte SSD, unless, of course, you're selecting the 2 terabyte version, in which case then they're showing you that you get more storage and they're adding a micro SD card slot. I don't know what you would do with a micro SD card slot. I mean, this thing has USB. Why not just use USB for storage? I don't know why you would want a micro SD, but they're adding that in there, okay? Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, and gigabit Ethernet, integrated Steam controller wireless adapter, meaning if you have a Steam controller, it auto syncs with this thing, all right? You don't have to have the Steam adapter in. However, here's something funny about that. You need the adapter to charge the Steam controller. So what point is there to having an integrated adapter if you still have to plug in the Steam controller to charge it anyway? Doesn't seem well thought out, in my opinion. Small form factor, it's a approximately 6-inch cube. Wait, what? 6-inch cube? Are you guys aware? 6 inches is not very big. 6 inches is like this. So it's this big. It's tiny. It doesn't look tiny in the picture. Like, those are regular USB ports, right? It doesn't look that small. So it's kind of confusing. 6-inch cube is not, I mean, like, for example, right? Here is my selfie stick. And this here bottom portion is bigger than 6 inches. You're saying it's going to be like this? Like a tiny cube. That's surprising to me. That sounds like it's going to be ultra compact, which is cool. But you got to wonder about cooling solutions, right? Like, how well is this thing going to be cooling if it's tiny? It is a little weird. I don't know. And Steam OS 3, of course, what they've already stated is that even though it'll be running on the Steam operating system, it is fully customizable. You can put Linux on this thing. You can put Windows on this thing. You can do whatever you want with it. It is a PC as well as a dedicated gaming device. It's both. So you're not locked into only doing one thing or the other. So your Steam library in more places with over 6 times the horsepower of Steam Deck. Steam Machine has the power to play your whole Steam library, even AAA titles. Core features that define the machine. Steam operating system optimized for gaming. The small form factor, smaller than a banana. Cool and quiet. Keeps cool and runs whisper quiet, even when running the most demanding games. I/O for days, ready for all the peripherals and monitors you can throw at it. So it has gigabit Ethernet, a display port. That's good. That's nice that it has the display port. HDMI 2.0, 1 USB-C and 4 USB-A ports, but like, don't actually throw things at it. 1 USB-C and 4 USB-A. I think I would have liked, honestly, maybe some more USB-Cs these days. Everything uses USB-C. A lot of devices do. So to have that be limited to that many USB-As, Also, HDMI 2.0, but they just announced the new standard is 2.2, so it's not going to have the new standard of HDMI. Not that it's a huge deal. GPU and CPU says 4K gaming at 60 frames with FSR, thanks to a discrete semi-custom AMD desktop-class CPU and GPU. They're already admitting, don't expect to be playing games at 120 hertz at 4K. If you want 120, you got to go lower. They're kind of outright stating that, and I think that's a good thing. That's an actual good thing that they're stating that up front, so that basically they're not over-promising and under-delivering. Not like the PlayStation 5 that said, like, 8K gaming on the front of the box, and the thing doesn't do 8K. They're kind of, you're saying, temper your expectations. Storage, 512 gigabytes and 2 terabytes. I'm going to be honest with you. They shouldn't sell 512 gigabytes. If this thing is a real dedicated gaming machine, it should have more than 512 gigabytes. Just upfront, being honest, that's stupid. And I know that means that the base price would be more. What they're trying to do is cut back to say, oh, there's an affordable version. There's no affordable version, as you'll see in a sec when we look at the pricing. It's not affordable, so no point in even selling the low end, but it is what it is. The good news is it has USB ports. You could use external storage. It won't be that big of a deal, likely. It's got the best Wi-Fi so far. It's got Bluetooth. Steam controller wireless adapter is built right in. Completely stupid. No point to doing that when you have to charge the controller anyway via USB. And power, no giant brick. The power supply is built inside. And what they're showing you is that you're going to get customizable faceplates for this thing that you can buy and you can swap out. Now, I'm sure they're going to cost a lot of money for a piece of plastic, right? This is going to be like the days of the Xbox 360 where they sold the faceplates for like $20, $30. even though it was a piece of plastic that probably cost a nickel to manufacture in the factory. So they're going to make a big fortune on the faceplates. And if you didn't notice, that's what this is over here. If you get the base version, you don't get that. But if you get the 2 terabyte version, it looks like they're giving you 2 faceplates with the package. Ooh. What I'm wondering, honestly, will you have customizable faceplates that you can make yourself? Well, like the Xbox controller shop, will there be an online store where you can design whatever picture you want and you can just print out your own Steam Machine faceplates that you can order, right? There's an LED strip, y'all. It keeps system status, like download progress, even when your screen is off, and you can customize it with colors and animations or just turn it off. Optimized for gaming, and it's a PC. See, it's still your PC. Install your own apps with another operating system. We're ready to tell you how to use your computer. And it says, yes, it syncs with everything, okay? And here you go. So here's the actual design of the whole thing. You got your USB-A, the micro SD slot, the indicator LED, display port, as well as HDMI, the power, Ethernet, USB-C, AA. I also don't like that USB-C is on the back. I think the USB-C should be on the front for easy accessibility. Because it's on the back, it means you need a longer cable, which is kind of annoying. And here's the more detailed specs if you would like them. They're all available there on the page. So size and weight, 2.6 kilograms. I have absolutely no idea what that is in pounds because I'm American. I'm ignorant. I'll admit, I wish I knew kilograms, but I'm stupid because we use dumb things like pounds over here. So I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's not heavy. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, folks. The pricing. Can you see it? I can't make it bigger because I'm in the Steam app, so it won't let me make the text bigger, but I'll read it for you. The base level 512 gigabyte Steam Machine, $1,049. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be comparable to a console. They're saying this is the PC alternative to a console. It should arguably run as good as any console and should play all your PC library. For $1,049 at the cheapest price point, that's way more expensive than the current line of consoles. Even the PS5 Pro is much less expensive than the Steam Machine. Then you've got the 512 gigabyte version with the Steam controller, which they don't need to sell. This bundle shouldn't exist. If you wanted a Steam controller, you should have bought a Steam controller. And there's no need to hoard the Steam controller and sell it with I almost called it a console, and sell it with the Steam Machine. I think this is dumb, but hey, they do what they want. So if you didn't notice, there's a discount. The Steam controller was $99.99 by itself. Here, you're getting a Steam controller for $78. So you're getting a discount because you bought it bundled with the Steam Machine. Then there's the 2 terabyte version, meaning an additional 1.5 gigabytes of SSD storage for $300 more. Literally no other features. Just another gig and a half of storage for $300 more. That is wildly expensive. Insanely expensive. Ridiculously expensive. Yikes. And then you could again get it bundled with the Steam controller. Again, this should not be there. Oh, by the way, red fabric and solid walnut faceplates. That's interesting. Those are the name of the faceplates that they're giving you there. So you have it match your entertainment center, supposedly, I guess, with the walnut. I don't know what red fabric would match, your ugly couch or something, but that's what you're getting. That's insano expensive. To be clear, I fully expect this will sell out this week. I do. Even with their randomized lottery system, even with the fact that new Steam accounts can't buy it, and you need to have bought something before April, I still think this will sell out this week, just on the sake of people who are going to try to resell it. So I think initially, this first wave will sell out. But then, after the first wave sells out, people, resell them, and that hype has died down, I feel like this thing is going to hard stop, and people will be like, I just don't think so. I don't think that we want this because it's too expensive. And to be fair, it is. It doesn't even do 4K 120 hertz, so it's not ultra powerful, but you're paying a price around what you would expect for that. I'm not saying that every game should have full ray tracing and shit on. I'm just saying, if you're going to sell this for over $1,000, It should be giving you optimal graphic performance, and it doesn't. So I really feel, sadly, this is way too expensive. Perhaps you disagree with me. I actually want to take some input from the people in chat and see what they have to say. But for me, I think that this is way too expensive for what they're actually offering. So let's see what people in chat have to say about Steam Machine. The PlayStation 5 is cheaper. It will run games at 120 hertz or 120 frames, all because it has HDMI 2.1. They really should have used HDMI 2.1 instead of 2.0, which is a limitation that makes it only 60 frames. That's interesting, and I did not know that. So because this has 2.0, it could never go 120 frames. That's interesting. Damage Coda says, insane. Imagine if a PS5 or Switch 2 didn't come with a controller or Joy-Cons. But you have to understand, it's a different market. This is a PC. It is supposed to be a jump from if you're only a console gamer and now you're going to become a PC gamer. This is your way to transition into being a PC gamer for less than building your own PC. But, yeah, I get it. If it didn't come with the controller, then you have to get one. The thing is, there's insane amounts of options for controllers for PC. Let's be honest. There's ridiculous amounts of options that you can do. You're not limited to just the PlayStation controller or just the Xbox controller at launch, right? You can get whatever controller you want. You can buy a controller for $30 for this thing that's probably better than one of those. I think what's going to happen is people are going to keep buying it and reselling it. I totally see this as a reseller's market. Everything these days, right? Ridiculous.